Warning: this video contains copyrighted content, and I do not own, nor do I claim to own anything in this review. And this video may also contain blood and or gore and other explicit things that you may not like. And please go watch / play whatever I'm talking about to form your own opinion. It's been over 2 months of non-stop walking through this sewer, and I don't know when it will end.
Can you stop doing your monologue?
You could hear me this whole time?
Of course I could. Oh well, would you look at that? The copy of Sonic Forces. Conveniently in front of a PS4 and a TV.
Oh no, does this mean I'm off bike? Sonic in the 2010s was a weird time to be a Sonic fan, with very little good games. But during this time, people are holding out hope for the next big Sonic Team game. I mean, it has to be good. They made Unleashed. This game sucks balls. Which I know is an original statement. I mean, I'm not even beating a dead horse at this point. It's more like the ashes of a horse. But Sonic Forces had a lot of hype around it, but this was also during a time where Sega was self-aware of their games being bad, using nostalgia as a crutch instead of actual new content. This game isn't bad because it's buggy and overambitious or time restraints. It's flawed on a fundamental level. But maybe I'm wrong. After all, I haven't played the game in forever. I'll just play the first level and it'll be fine. Green Hill Zone and Sonic Forces should be shown the game designers on how not to make a stage. I'm gonna take this really slow and break down every section of this stage just to make sure everyone gets it. You start the stage running while Tails tells you that shit is hitting the fan in the city. The game makes sure that if you let go of the stick, the dash pads will carry you all the way to the end. You will also notice that Sonic controls like a goddamn F1 car, and does not have the ability to freely turn left and right no matter how much you try. You would then have your first encounter with an enemy, which the game expects you to boost right through. But if you don't, you will see that they do not move, nor will they attack you at all. The game will then ask you to homing attack some enemies, which shows you how slow the homing attack is in this game, as well as the bad blowback animation. It looks like Sonic's and I have a heart attack instead of handling it with style like usual. Then it throws you into a 2D section, which will be the only time you actually need to touch the thumbstick in this level. And I'm not joking on that one, you can actually beat the stage without using the thumbstick. But not before showing you this giant worm that's from Sonic Lost World, which begs the question, how the fuck did that big ass worm got from the Lost Hex to us? And then an automated section, and you know it's automated because it cuts your boost, which takes you right out of the game. And I ain't no game dev, but even I know to never do that. And then one last straight on to the end. And that is what every single stage will be like.
Hey Jaden.
Yeah?
Can you shut the hell up? I want to talk.
You can't tell me what to do. This is my
When Sonic Forces was first shown off, it was shown that Classic Sonic would be in the game. Because, of course he was. Classic Sonic had overstayed his welcome in modern Sonic games already after only being in one game before this, and I think this might be the worst he has ever felt. Classic Sonic doesn't have any momentum at all, which for 2D Sonic is mandatory for it to work. I'm sure you've all seen the clip of Classic Sonic not able to get up this small gap even after running down this slope, which just shows you Classic Sonic not having momentum ruins his gameplay. They brought back the drop dash from Mania for Classic Sonic, which is nice, but it feels significantly worse. It just doesn't give you the same amount of speed and just isn't as fun to use. His levels are just a slog to get through, and the final character you can play is your creative character. Creating your own character is actually really cool, and all the clothes you can get for your character actually adds replayability. So the created character is the highlight of the game. I really like it. I cannot speak the same for the gameplay of your OC. The gameplay of the OC is just the modern Sonic stages, but without the boost, which has been replaced with Wisp-Spawn. Wisp-Spawns are weapons that are designed to harness the power of Wisp without needing to transform the user, or at least that's what the wiki says. Pretty much, they're just weapons, and the best one is the starting flamethrower, so there's no need to experience with other weapons. So at the end of the day, these stages are just worse modern Sonic stages. But there's also stages where you play as Sonic in the OC, but those aren't worth talking about.
The story of this game was a big selling point, but it sucks they wasted the Eggman taking over the world part on a game where the cutscenes last a total of 21 minutes. The story of this game had a lot of potential, but this was during a time where every single Sonic game had the same complexity as a cartoon.
I thought you loved those cartoons like Gakku.
Trust me, I do. The game starts with Eggman talking about how much he hates Sonic. Like, literally, he says that. He's creating this new thing called Infinite. Infinite is pretty cool, and I really like his design, but we probably won't see him again. So, all of his potential was wasted in this one game. Before Infinite was Infinite, he was just a jackal who would go by the ultimate mercenary. But he would be defeated by Shadow, which would lead him into a desire to be the strongest. One day, Infinite would have a raid on an Eggman base, and during this attack, he would come in contact with the Phantom Ruby, and when he touched it, he saw a vision of everything he wanted. Eggman saw this and offered him a spot in the Eggman army, which he accepted. I hope you like that, because none of that is in the game, because remember, we only have 21 minutes for that. This was all in a prequel comic, which would also retcon Infinite's origin in the game. As in the game, it's implied he's an android, with in some levels you can see walls of Infinite cards.
I mean, what's so wrong with him? He seems pretty cool.
I mean, if you look past the point that he's underdeveloped and kinda shallow, I guess so.
I just thought he looked cool. Infinite and Eggman go and attack a city, which resulted in Sonic getting defeated and captured by Eggman, and Tails just stood there and did jack shit. We have a 6-month time skip saying that Eggman has control of 99% of the world. Sonic has been tortured for the past 6 months. Knuckles stepped up to be the leader of the Resistance. Amy is some tech girl now. Silver is there, I guess, and Tails is MIA. Sounds pretty hardcore for Sonic, dude.
Sure, if it wasn't written as if it was Despicable Me.
Knuckles can say something like, Sonic has been tortured for a long time. And then we cut to Sonic, and he's like, whoa, what can a dude do for a chili dog around here? Low budget prison, no food, or movies? I'm outta here. And then he beats up Zavok, who's in this game for some reason. Oh yeah, I forgot, one of the big marketing things was the nostalgia bait of a bunch of old villains, which were just fakes made by the Phantom Ruby, which, by the way, doesn't really have any limits. And if it does, they haven't said what it is. And you know what's for marketing, because most of these guys don't even get a boss fight, because remember, the game is 2 hours long. Beats up Zavok and leaves a death egg in the 3rd level of the game, which is kinda a lot this early on, but okay. We cut to Tails, who was trying to fix Omega, and then Chaos comes to try and kill him. And then out of nowhere, Classic Sonic pops out to save Tails, and Tails is just putting his hands over his eyes saying, "Save me, Sonic!" But because we need to keep the video going, I'll put my 2 cents in. Yeah, this completely ruins Tails' character development from SA1. And listen, when I first played this, I didn't realize how bad this scene was, because I hadn't played SA1. But now I have, and if only my younger self knew too, because this one cutscene proves why this game sucks. In SA1, Tails' character arc was him getting over his fears and being able to fend for himself without Sonic, with him fighting Chaos in Sonic Adventure 1. It makes no sense why he would be scared of someone that he can beat. And oh yeah, and Tails confusing everyone on what Classic Sonic is for 5 years was stupid too, I guess.
Counters being out of counter is a consistent in this game. This was still during a time where everyone was a one-note counter, and that didn't change with this game. So because of this, the plot was fundamentally flawed due to its counters. And that's it for the story, because nothing interesting happens after this. We see Sonic fight Metal Sonic in Infinite. We get a cool level where the Resistance launches an attack on Eggman, with most of the Resistance forces being wiped out by Infinite in seconds. And to finish out this game, a repeat of the Sonic Colors final boss. So what is there really to say about Sonic Forces anymore? The story is bare bones and the gameplay is terrible, and is just Sonic at his worst. I grew up in an era of what most would say had terrible games for Sonic, and I didn't hate these games, but I didn't love them. What captured me was these characters, and when I played stuff like Sonic Adventure 2, it gave me what I wanted most: good character writing. It's why I actually really like Sonic 06, even if the story isn't perfect. I love these characters, and especially Eggman, Blaze, and Silver. It's why I can look past some of the bad parts in Sonic Frontiers because of the great character interactions. And the gameplay in Frontiers is like really fun too, so that's a bonus. Sonic Forces didn't give me this. With a short and lackluster story, it absolutely is the worst Sonic game, right beside Sonic Heroes. Fuck that game.
How could you not like Sonic Heroes?
It insists upon itself, Joel.
Well, we're gonna have to save it for another day. I just got the hatch open. We can leave.
Crazy how I beat the whole game in that time.
Huh. Weird how it's right beside our house. You think the cops are still on us?
I doubt it. I think it's better we just go home and forget about it. Well, it's good to be home. It's been a crazy couple months running from the police, but I better stop talking shit before Sonic forces me into my grave.